How's it going? Wanted to share with you guys something really cool that I've sort of forgotten to talk about in a lot of these videos, is that Jade Nectar, our tincture, olive oil infused tincture company, is actually, we are a wellness company. That's the whole reason we got into this. And I wanted to show you something really cool here. And I'll tell you a little anecdotal personal testimony, because it's a little weird. We're not allowed to make medical claims, but we are allowed to share testimonials. And I just had a testimonial that was really cool. The other day I was playing basketball with my family, and I'm silly though, and I wear my shoes until they basically fall off my feet, and that's when I get a new pair. So I was playing basketball and I slipped in some mulch on the driveway. There's the mulch pile. And I'm kind of old and brittle and frail. And so I slipped and I tweaked my back, and instantly I was thinking I was going to have major back pain. And I have dealt with back pain a lot of my life. But then the very cool thing that is so awesome, so usually before cannabis, before I learned about, and specifically what I want to talk about here is raw cannabis. And this is raw, unheated Cbda and THCA. So the THCA in here actually does not, it's very minimally psychoactive. Most people consider it non-psychoactive. But the amazing thing about raw cannabinoids is they are extremely anti-inflammatory, and for aches and pains, and then things like when you tweak your back. And for me, if I tweaked my back before I learned about cannabis and the amazing pain relief and anti-inflammatory effects, that usually meant I was going to spend probably a week of being in a pretty high level of pain in my back and crawling in and out of my car and hurting and not being able to get out of bed, and sometimes not even being able to tie my shoes without some help. And then I'd take Advil or some sort of ibuprofen. And yeah, so anyway, I think a lot of you have been there as well. But the amazing thing, and I kid you not, and we want to share this, and so we make this, but we don't make cannabis. So we're just kind of trying to spread the word of raw cannabis and the pain relief effects and the anti-inflammatory effects. That is just mind-blowing. And I share this with people all the time, and everyone else is also blown away. So basically, what happened? Tweaked my back. I went, uh-oh, I'm gonna be in pain real soon. So I went and got some of our Raw Balance, which is a 1 THCA to 1 CBDA ratio, and it's just whole flower infused into olive oil. So it's a totally natural, high vibing, super simple formula. And by the way, our new bottles say sun-grown, full spectrum, cannabis infused olive oil tincture, no distillates, no MCT. Boo MCT, and boo distillates. Distillates is like high fructose corn syrup style THC or cannabinoids. So anyway, this is whole flower soaked in olive oil. That's it. No solvents or anything. That's how they did it in biblical times. But anyway, so what I did, get back to my story, is I guzzled a bunch of this, probably like 5, 6, 7 dropperfuls. And then we also make this really cool 1-to-1 balance, and this is decarbed, so this is THC and CBD, but this is a salve, and it's a real simple salve, but it's very potent. And so what I did that night is I guzzled a bunch of this raw balance, and then I slathered on a bunch of this topical, our topical, and then I went to bed. And as I was falling asleep, it just feels like a billion little microscopic masseuses all just massaging all of my muscles on the cellular level. So like with ibuprofen, what happens is it just sort of dulls the pain and you don't feel the pain. With raw cannabinoids, what happens is you actually feel your tense, inflamed, locked up muscles just sort of relax and open up. And then if your back's all sort of tweaked, you sort of feel things start to go into alignment. So it's almost like getting a massage by a billion little cannabinoid molecules. And then what happens is it just relaxes all your muscles and calms the inflammation. And I kid you not, the next morning, totally fine. Totally fine, where before cannabis, I would have been probably in pain for at least a week. So anyway, I just want to let you guys know about this. And the thing though is we're super bummed because cannabis, unfortunately, the way that the regulatory system is set up, it just makes it so expensive. And so just so you guys know, what we wholesale this for, by the time it gets to the end user, it's usually 3 times the cost of what we sell it for. And I'm not blaming the dispensaries or anyone doing things, because they have tons of costs because of the regulatory system as well. So the whole way this cannabis Prop 64 regulatory system, it just has made everything, the cost of operating, your operating costs are just so expensive. So anyway, we want to get this out to folks, because if you try raw cannabinoids and these topicals, guaranteed you're going to be blown away. So we're thinking about trying to figure out creative ways to get these out. Maybe for free, when you buy another formula, you get one free, and then you can give that to yourself or to a loved one who's dealing with pain, who could maybe have a positive experience with cannabis. So we're gonna try and do that. Our real goal here is to connect more people with cannabis in a positive way. So just want to share that with you. I know it's long and rambling, and also want to show you kind of a perk of making your own cannabis formulas and running a cannabis olive oil infused tincture company. Is I get these mason jars of it, like after we make a batch, I put it in mason jars so I can actually guzzle the stuff, and it works really well. I get to be lavish, so that's a perk for running this and dealing with all the regulatory nonsense. Every once in a while, there's some perks. And also, and I know I'm a hippie guy who just hangs out in the woods and grows cannabis, and people may not think I pay much attention to legal issues and what's going on in the industry and everything. But I just want to show you guys also, personally, I actually have, I think at this point, like 10 US patents on cannabis formulations, and they all have to do with treating cannabis as food. Totally natural formulations, and most of them have to do with raw cannabis juice and raw cannabinoids, because I think really the real medicine is in the raw acidic THCA, Cbda, THCBA. So we have all these patents, but we're not getting the patents so we can own it. We're really proactively, we're aware of trends of where pharmaceutical companies are going and where nutraceuticals and all those, and everybody wants to own cannabis. And we really think cannabis should be in the public domain, that the universe created cannabis, and everybody should have equal access to it, and no one should own it. So it's okay if pharmaceutical companies want to make their formulations and get those FDA approved, but people should be allowed to actually make their own formulations through a natural herbal way, the way it's been done for thousands of years. So anyway, hope that is helpful. And then I'm going to get back playing basketball and trick shot. Not this time.